Okay, so we are going to be simplifying rational expressions. And basically, a rational expression is anything that looks like a fraction. So let's go and start out. Now, there's so many ways to simplify. Simplify means basically divide. You could divide. You could put in lowest terms. You could factor. Okay, and once some things are factored, you could cancel some things out. So there's lots of things you can do when you are simplifying. So let's go and look at this problem. This was number 1 on your quiz. So I'm going to divide it up into 2 different parts. This basically is 60 divided by 12, and it's also x cubed over x. So you can look at it as 2 different things you need to do. So let's put 60 over 12 into lowest terms. 60 over 12 is the same as, I think, 5 over 1. 60 divided by 12 is 5. So I'm going to put a 5 in the numerator, and you can put a 1 in the denominator if you need to. And then x cubed over x to the first. Remember, when you're dividing bases, you subtract the exponents. So where do we put? Now we know we're going to have an x squared. Where does that go? Well, it's going to go wherever you had more to start with. So you've got an x squared in your numerator. And that's all you do. Your answer is 5x squared over 1, or you could just call it 5x squared. Okay, let's go on to number 2. All right, 70 v squared over 100. Now, let's go and do the same thing. 70 over 100, and then that's the same as when you multiply it by v squared over v. All right, now you're going to do both parts. So try this on your own. 70 over 100 is not going to come out to a nice easy number. If we divide everything by 10, we get 7 over 10, all right? And then we have v squared over v to the first. Now you could think about this. I'm going to use a different color. This is v times v all over v. All right, so these 2 guys are going to cancel out. So we're left with just 1v in the numerator. All right, or 2 minus 1 is 1, and since we had more in the numerator, we're going to keep it in the numerator. That's it. That's all you do. Okay? So simplifying in this case meant lowest terms, okay, or canceling some things out. All right, let's look at another one. Now, this one, you want to put it in lowest terms, but in order to get there, you have to factor. So let's factor. There's so many things you can factor. All of these could be divided by 5. Let's start with that. Divide all of these by 5. So if we divided 35x by 5, we're going to get a 7x. If we divide negative 35 by 5, we're going to get a negative 7. 25x divided by 5 is 5x. Negative 40 divided by 5 is negative 8. There you go. You're done. It doesn't look like we can go any lower with that. That is as far as we can go with our lowest terms or our simplifying. Now, if you wanted to go and find the common factor of each part, you would go and, did I miss something? I don't think I did. Oh, did I do? No, that's good. All right. So if we wanted to go and factor each part, we could do that too. We would factor this and we would take out a 35 and x minus 1. And then we would take out a 5 here and be left with 5x minus 8. Okay, well, this 35 over 5 is going to turn into a 7. Okay, so we're going to put a 7 x minus 1 over 1, 5x minus 8. It's a little more complicated. You can go back and multiply 7x minus 7 and then multiply that, and you still get 5x minus 8. I like the first method of just taking a 5 out of everything. It's the same answer, but much less work. All right, let's try this one. Find the common factor of all of these. Now, This is a 2, this is a 10, this is a 3, and that's a 15. We're not going to find a common factor in here. All right, they do all have A's. We could take out an A out of everything. And you basically are just going to take out one of the A's. So we're basically going to do 2A plus 10. And then 3A plus 15. Okay, because you took out an A, took out an A. All right, this A squared becomes just A, and this A squared becomes just A. Okay, still not done. You got to go factor some other stuff. So in 2 and 10, we have a common factor. We have a 2. All right, so we're going to factor out a 2. And so 2A divided by 2 is A, and then 10 divided by 2 is 5. Then we're going to take out here 3 and 15. That has a common factor. So the common factor is 3, so we're going to do 3. And then 3A divided by 3 is A, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. Not quite done, but we can go and cancel out the A plus 5 and the A plus 5. Yes, you should cancel out from top to bottom. All right, and then what we're left with is 2 over 3. And that's your answer. 2 over 3 is it. All right, let's try another one. Now this, you're multiplying, but you're not really going to multiply. Like this is saying multiply. But let's simplify first. So the first step would be to simplify, which in this case, you're not factoring. You're really just going to cancel out. Okay, I am going to put parentheses around everything that's connected with a plus or a minus, because those have to stay together. And if you notice, x plus 3 and x plus 3, you've got one on top and one on bottom. So you can cancel those out and simplify from there. And then we've got another common factor on the top and bottom. We got a 3 on the top here and a 3 on the bottom. So those would divide out to be 1, so those are simplifying. So all we're left with in the top is x minus 6, and all we're left with in the bottom is a 4. And you're done. All right, let's go on to this one. Same idea. I'm going to go put parentheses around everything that has a plus or minus sign associated with it. And I'm going to highlight, maybe highlighting would be better than going and drawing over those. So look, an x minus 8 is in the numerator, and an x minus 8 is in the denominator. And I've got an x plus 10 in the numerator, and an x plus 10 in the denominator. So all of those are going to be canceled out and simplified. Okay, so that's part of our simplifying. I'm just going to cross them out because we don't need them anymore. They divide out to be 1. All right, so what is left? We've got a 4x in the numerator, and we've got an x plus 6 in the denominator. Because that x is connected with a 6 with a plus sign, you cannot cancel or simplify any further. All right, let's try the next one. Same thing, but here's the deal. It's division. So when you divide, you multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, multiply by the reciprocal. Well, the reciprocal of what? Well, you're going to do the reciprocal of the second part. Okay, so let's go and flip that over to be a reciprocal and change it to multiplication. So this is still going to be n plus 3 over n plus 2, but now we're going to multiply. This becomes multiplying, and then we're going to write the reciprocal or flip it, right? All right, now we've got a multiplication problem. So we can go and start simplifying from there. And in this case, I don't think we're factoring. I think we are just simplifying by canceling some things out. So I am going to change this n minus 1 squared That is actually n minus 1 times n minus 1. And it might be easier to see it if you write it like that. So I'm going to take out this n minus 1 squared and change it to an n minus 1 times n minus 1. All right, now we're going to go, I'm going to highlight the things that are exactly the same. Okay, there's an n plus 3 in the top and an n plus 3 in the bottom. All right, there is an n minus 1 in the numerator here and an n minus 1 in the numerator there. And this is okay, like this part right here, doing this thing. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. All right, it's okay to go across the multiplication sign to do that. All right, so let's go and cross these out because they basically multiply or divide to be 1. And now let's go and write out whatever's left, n minus 1, n minus 2. And nothing can be crossed out. You do not do this. Do not do that, okay? Because that n minus 1 has to stay together, and that n minus 2 has to stay together. There you go. All right, try this one now. Same thing, division of the reciprocal, or division of something, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal of this. So you keep this, you change this, and you flip that. So I'm going to write all this out again. Oops. And I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, and I'm going to put parentheses around anything that is connected with an addition or subtraction sign. Okay, let's go and cancel some things out. Simplify. All right, so v plus 8 and v plus 8. And then there's another one, v plus 10 and a v. Oh, what happened? That should have been a v plus 10. I copied that wrong. We do this a lot, don't we? We copy things down wrong. And it messes everything up. So let me go back and put that in there. All right, so that should be v plus, oh, why do I keep doing that? V minus 10. All right, let's go back and highlight those just to make sure that they are the right color. So v minus 10, v minus 10. There we are, we're on the right track. Okay, cross out. If you want to, you can cross them out. All right, or you can just write down what didn't get highlighted. V minus 8 or v plus 8, v minus 10, v minus 10. We're left with v minus 7 over 1. Or you can just leave it as v minus 7, because in the denominator, it doesn't really matter if you have a 1. All right, we got two more. All right, this one we're adding. So these two denominators are the same, so it doesn't matter. You don't do anything with them. So we're just going to write, oh, why did I do that? All right, we are just going to write an 8y as our denominator. Basically, all you're going to do is add the stuff together in your numerator. So I like this highlighter. I'm going to use the highlighter. I'm going to highlight my x and my 6x. And that turns into a 7x. All right. And then let's highlight our y, a negative y, and our negative 3y. Well, negative y plus negative 3y is going to give us a negative 4y. And it doesn't look like these numbers can be reduced or simplified at all. So that is that in lowest terms. All right, I got one more. I hope I can finish. All right, so our denominator are different. Our denominators are different. So we're going to go and make our denominators the same by just multiplying them together, okay? And then I've got an n plus 8 times an n plus 1. What does this denominator need to have to become this denominator? So it needs an n plus 1. What does this denominator need to be this denominator? It needs an n minus 8. So we're going to multiply 4 times n minus 8. I'm running out of time, so I'm going faster. Okay? Drop your denominators. They're the same. Oh, wait. No, that was addition. Sorry, we don't do that. All right, so now we're just going to combine our like terms. 2 times n plus 1 is 2n plus 2. I'm almost out of time. I might not finish this. This is 4n minus 32 all over n plus 8 times n plus 1. And you should end up with